Topuria vs. Holloway, the Matador's first defense. On October 26, the UFC 308 Mixed Martial Arts Tournament will take place in Abu Dhabi. In the main event of the fighting event, undefeated Spanish fighter of Georgian origin Ilia Topuria, who holds the UFC featherweight championship belt, will make the first defense of his title. The Matador's opponent will be American Max Holloway. Let's find out what to expect from the headliners of a high-profile event in the UAE capital. 27-year-old Ilia Topuria ended up in the Dana White League in 2020. He crushed 6 opponents and got a title chance. In February 2024, at the UFC 298 tournament, Matador faced the dominant champion Alexander Volkanovski from Australia. Few people believed in Topuria, but he sensationally knocked out the Wolf in the second round, becoming the owner of the UFC title and bringing his record to 15-0. Max Holloway is a much more experienced fighter. In MMA, he fought 33 fights, in 26 of which he won. He has been competing in the UFC since 2011. The American has already managed to be the champion of the organization from 2017 to 2019. The Blessed One received another opportunity to return the belt after winning by knockout in the 5th round over Justin Getty in a fight that took place in April this year at the UFC 300 tournament. After winning the belt, Topuria had several options in the person of the same Volkanovski, Movsar Evloev or Brian Ortega. But after Holloway's success in the battle for the BMF title, it became clear that it was Max who deserved to fight Topuria the most. And already in the summer, the UFC officially announced this fight. Ilia Topuria can be safely considered the new Conor McGregor. He makes the same tattoos as the star Irishman, and completely copies the behavior of the former UFC champion into weight categories. Mental games with rivals are another feature that connects the Matador with Conor. Before fights, he tries to get into his opponent's heads and scare them with his confidence. Volkanovski, for example, has already felt for himself what this means. Topuria is a fighter who has no weaknesses. This characterized the fighters of the modern MMA school. The Spaniard of Georgian origin is good but in the stills and in the stand. He has 5 wins by knockout and 8 by painful technique. According to StatsFight, on average, Ilia throws 12.16 strikes per minute, accuracy to 51%, conducts more than 1 takedown per round. In the stand, Ilia focuses on attacks to the head, where he brings 48.3% of his strikers. Max has been fighting in the elite for almost 15 years. And it may seem that the American is already a veteran. But no, Holloway is very young. He is only 32 years old. However, the American represents the old school of MMA, because he fights in the style of fighters from the 2000s. Unlike Ilia, Holloway is a pronounced drummer. He has 12 knockout wins in his career. On average, in Max's fights, more than 93% of the total time is spent on stand-up disassembly. If we talk about Holloway's manner, he relies on punches 85.3%, trying to inflict tremendous damage on opponents. It is noteworthy that Holloway is the most durable fighter in the history of the organization. It's a fantastic connection. He missed the most significant blows to the head in history, and he hasn't lost by knockout for the longest time in history. Given the skills and experience of the fighters, it can be predicted that there may be only 2 scenarios in this confrontation. The first scenario, Topuria relies on fighting and tries to transfer Max over and over again, controlling him on the ground. In this case, Holloway has little chance. It will be difficult for him to get up from under the powerful Matador, which is able to work both for points and to look for the finish line. The second scenario, the guys sort things out in the distance. The odds are 50-50 here. Topuria has knockout power. In the UFC, no one has ever coped with his strength. But Holloway has never even been knocked down. And it's hard to surprise him with something in a punch. Max is capable of dropping anyone himself. It must be said that, according to bookmakers, Ilia Topuria is considered the favorite of the upcoming fight. His victory is estimated of -250. You can bet on Max with a quote of +120. By the way, Holloway has never been such an obvious underdog in his career. According to StatsFight rating, BMF title holder Max Holloway has a higher fighting level. His skills and experience are rated 87. UFC featherweight champion Ilia Topuria is 5 points behind his opponent, with a rating of 82. But in the coming weekend, Matador may change the situation. If you like this review, then please like it. Watch the main fight and the entire UFC 308 tournament together with the Stats Fight MMA Picks and Score app available on the App Store and Google Play, where in parallel with the broadcast you can follow the live stats, the G-Fight winner probability scale and the course of the fight screen to anticipate the outcome of the fights faster than others.